Many people think all RAM are the same, but this small mistake can stop your laptop from powering on. In this video, I'm going to show you the differences between all type of RAM practically here. This is DDR2 RAM, this is DDR3 RAM, and this is DDR4 RAM. And before I proceed, I want you to also know that when you hear DDR3, it also means PC3, and when you hear DDR4, it means PC4, and when you hear DDR2, it means PC2. So this is DDR2 RAM, or you can call it PC2 RAM. This is DDR3 RAM, you can call it PC3 RAM, and this is DDR4 RAM, and you can call it PC4 RAM. The differences here is this. Now this is the first RAM that was built in this generation of computer. This is the type of RAM that was used. Then in each time, this is the type of RAM that was used to build the type of computer that was built in that generation. And in each time, this is the type of RAM that was used to build the system in each generation. So to DDR4, and currently we have DDR5 for PC5. Now, what are the differences here? Because most technicians struggle in identifying the differences between these RAM, so I thought it wise to make it clear and open to everyone to understand. Now, this is a very simple thing to do, and this is going to be a very short video. Now pay attention, I will explain something for you. Look at these RAMs. Now if you want to understand this, you have to pay attention. Now let's start with DDR2 RAM, which is this one. Looking at it here, we have 2 gig here, PC2. We have two types of RAM. We have PC2L or normal PC2. Remember, we have two types of RAM. We have the one that uses low voltage and the one that uses high voltage. When you see only PC2 here, this is DDR2 or PC2. When you see PC2L, it is still DDR2, but this time this type of RAM uses a low voltage. That L there signifies a low voltage. And when you see PC2L, it is also DDR2 RAM, but this time that particular RAM is using a low voltage. That particular system, that particular motherboard is using a low voltage to process the RAM. So you need to be careful. Let's assume you want to upgrade your system RAM. Now you open the RAM box where the RAM is being installed on the motherboard. You know, when you open it, look at the previous RAM there, bring it out if possible. Look at it very well. You will see something like okay, let's make use of something like, as we have PC4 now, you will see something like PC4L. Just know that it uses low voltage to process that RAM, and if you are replacing it, make sure you replace it with the same PC4L. It should not be different, because PC4 uses high voltage and PC4L uses low voltage. So to PC2 uses high voltage and PC2L uses low voltage. And on PC3, this is PC3 here. Let me remove this. Okay, very good. Look at what we are talking about here now. If you watch closely now, you will see PC3L. This is DDR3 RAM. It's using low voltage. Now I still have normal PC3. Okay, look at PC3 here now. Look at normal PC3. Okay, this one is PC3L. Let's look for normal PC3. I know I have normal PC3. Okay, good. Look at it here now. This is PC3. This is 4 gig here. This is the same thing as the same 4 gig. So this RAM, this one here now, this blue one, uses a high voltage. So if you are replacing a RAM in the computer system, you should watch the previous RAM that is in the motherboard. If they only write PC3 without any L, make sure you look for PC3 RAM and install it, because it's going to process at a high voltage. And if you are looking at the board or the RAM, the one that is already in the system, and you are seeing PC3L, make sure you look for a PC3L RAM and install there. If not, if you use a PC3, normal PC3, and install there, it's not going to be compatible. And in a situation whereby the system uses a high voltage and you use a lower RAM, which is PC3 low, and run it, or maybe PC4 low and run it, it's going to still tell you that the RAM is not compatible. But not all systems detect that, so you should be very careful so that you will not damage your system motherboard or your system graphics card due to the configuration of the RAM you are installing. The simple way to know the differences here is this. Now when it comes to PC2 RAM, the opening to the end is not distant. Like the opening, this opening now you are saying to the end, to the extreme here, is not distant. Now at PC3 RAM, watch carefully. This is a practical experience that I'm explaining to you. At PC3 RAM, they shifted their hand. Instead of putting it here, they shifted it to this point. Did you get this thing there now? See the differences. These RAMs are placed in the same shape. Can you see that? The opening of PC2 RAM is closer to the edge. PC3 RAM comes here. Now PC4 RAM goes distant a bit. Seems like the opening is at the center. Look at it now. Looks like it's at the center. Then PC5 is coming like here now. Did you get the differences here now? So this is just the simple way to identify this RAM type. And another thing you should understand is PC3L, PC2L, PC4L, PC5L. That L there is just telling you low voltage. That's just very simple as that. Because when it comes to RAM cores, let me make something clear to you. This is the RAM port here now, right? This is the RAM port. I don't know, this might be running on, this is PC3 normally, but I don't know whether it's low or high. So when you are working on a RAM system, now let's assume now this is 2 gig PC3, right? PC3 there, can you see it? Now if you install this RAM, now let's assume now this is the RAM that this system comes with, and let's assume you want to upgrade it, you want to add another 2 gig RAM to this system to make it 4 gig RAM. Now some people will make the mistake of this. Let's assume now you want to add another 2 gig RAM, or maybe let's say 4 gig RAM now. Okay, let's say 4 gig RAM now. Now when you want to add that kind of RAM, what you're supposed to do is to just kindly bring out this RAM now, bring it out like this. Then you look, when you see PC3 and you didn't see L, make sure you look for a RAM that is PC3 without L. Now we have such RAM here, which we have this one now. This is 4 gig RAM. Let's assume you want to install 4 gig, so you can kindly install it here, and the system will still recognize it and do the configuration itself. But in a situation whereby you didn't see PC3L, you should just go and look for it. Don't try to say, okay, this is PC3, and you didn't take cognizance of the differences here. This is PC3L. This L means that it's running on a low voltage. If you install it on this laptop, some system might not dictate it. It might run properly, it might dictate or maybe increase in the gigabyte of the RAM, but with time it can affect your video card or probably affect your system. Or some systems that are very sensitive will dictate and tell you that this RAM is not supported, but you can choose to ignore it. But to be on the safer side, as a skilled technician, don't make that mistake. PC3L is different from normal PC3. PC4L is different from normal PC4. Although they are the same RAM type, but they are using different voltage configuration. I hope this makes you understand more about system RAMs. I remain ICT Doctor, a skilled computer technician on both hardware and softwares. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.